the Premier League was your goal and your dream, and it's everything that you've watched and inspired to be as a footballer growing up. You get the call from the football club. Talk to me about the process moving to the Midlands.
Okay, so first season, I scored 13 when I joined in November. Then the season after, I scored 21, I think. And in January, Crystal Palace wanted to sign me. It didn't happen for different reasons. So I talked with Pardew and everything. And the discussion I had with Gary Boyer was, if a Premier League club come for me, we will have a discussion, because that's why I come back in Championship, is to be able to perform and go back to the Prem. Then the summer come, Watford made a bid. The club just say, no, it's not enough money, blah, blah, blah. So I had a discussion with Gary Boyer. I said, listen, Gary, I will not travel to the preseason. It's probably something I will not do anymore if it's happened, because you have to respect the club who gave you the chance and pay you the salary. So you have to, as a professional, respect it. And then I received a call from my agent. He said, listen, there's Aston Villa. They want to put an offer, but they will not wait too long. So we have to make sure the club can accept it. So I had a discussion with the Derek Shaw, who was the general manager at this time at Blackburn. I said, Derek, how much do you want? He gave me the price. I said, can you send me an email with this? Because we cannot go back and forth. But I didn't mention the club. I just said, we cannot go back and forth. I have to know how much. Otherwise, you give me a contract, I will be happy to stay. It didn't happen. He gave me a price on the email. The day after, Villa matched the price and discussed with Tim Sherwood. Explained to me how he wanted to use me and the project of the club. Joined the club the 27th of July, I think I signed, 2015. And I'm very, very happy. I was there. It was a club that I was looking up also. Aston Villa always had some good players, strikers scoring goals. I was very happy.
Can relate to the FIFA Blackburn.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. At this time, it wasn't FIFA. I think I don't remember the name of it was Adidas Pro Evolution Soccer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they were called West Midlands Village on that game.
Yes, I might be. I
all
don't
right.
know. Yeah, probably.
And why not mention the club in that negotiation?
Because the money can go higher, the expectation from the club because Villa was well known to have money. So if you mention the club, they'll say, okay, I want 10 instead of 6 or 5 or 4. So I didn't want this to happen. So I played the game that I didn't have anything, but at least we have to know the budget. And then when it comes, it was much easier to negotiate there.
And do most players have that similar?
Usually
process?
the agent is negotiating. I would say that I've done the job on the Blackburn side by myself for different reasons. And then, I think the agent usually now I'm on the other side, club side, so they play the game. But it's asking for too much. They cannot pay. You have to be strong on your negotiation skills. And then when you've got both parties happy, you can make the deal.
Where did you move to in Birmingham?
I live in Weeford. Weeford. It's close to the training ground, Bonimore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had a nice house with my family there.
Yeah. And did you think about maybe staying there after, or did you?
After football?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I prefer Manchester. So when I was playing for Blackburn, Manchester was for me a better city. I felt more comfortable. So I said, listen, if I have to come back in UK, it will be Manchester.
And in terms of that process of going into Villa, you mentioned Tim Sherwood. Probably turbulent times in comparison to where the club is now.
Yes.
How was that for you going into that dressing room where Premier League football, probably more pressurised, fighting to stay in the league, different scenario in comparison to maybe Blackburn? How was that for you?
And I had the label to be a Championship player. So when you get to this changing room with Michael Richards, Julian Lescott, you had Gabriel Agbolao, then you had a few new players playing in Liga, or most of them are like good top players, I would say. Jack Grealish was there as a young player. You have to raise your standards. You have to get better. You have to make sure first few trainings you show that you've got the abilities to perform and to be part of the squad. I think I did well the first few weeks. Scored on my first goal, first game for Aston Villa against Bournemouth away. So it helps to integrate to the squad. But then we didn't pick the results for some reasons. We were scoring goals, but conceding goals. And then they decided to let go Tim Sherwood. I don't think it was a good move from the club, to be honest.
Why?
Because we were not far from getting results, but we had a lot of new players. So it's just the time to make sure they adapt to the new environment, new country. I would have carried on with him. He was good with the players. He had a good philosophy attacking football. So then we changed to Remi Garde, and probably a biggest mistake was to bring a profile like Remi Garde to the club, because then the gap was even bigger between the players and the head coach. It didn't work at all. Didn't get on. When I say when you come in a new country, you have to adapt to the culture. So you cannot come and change everything. You have to understand what's going to trigger the players, what's going to support them, and find the right balance. And then with the time, you start to implement your new ideas, but not too quick, too soon, because then you lose everyone, especially when you've got big character in the changing room.
Could you never challenge the manager? Obviously, from your French upbringing, could you ever say to the manager, look, listen, be careful here?
We had discussion. For some reason, he thought that the English players were against him. Like, I don't know why. So I told him, I said, I don't think it's the case. As a professional, when you get on the pitch, you want to win games. Nobody is going on the pitch to lose games. That doesn't exist. Even if the fans can think that sometimes, that doesn't. Never encounter any players going on the pitch to lose games. We're professional. We grew up with this mentality. We're competitor. We want to win every game. And I said to him, listen, no, maybe you should try to discuss with the captain of the changing room and find a way to make us all comfortable, but bringing also a working environment. But no, I don't think his people management skills were good enough to come in this club, in this situation. Don't get me wrong, he was a very, very good tactician. Remi Garde. So he understands football, he knows football, he's very good. It's just the way to communicate with the players sometimes could be better. He looked a bit miserable at times. So it didn't click, didn't work. Yeah.
Who was the captain at Aston Villa then?
We had the guy Micah Richards was the captain. Then sometimes it was the current Clark, I think. Ashley Westy, what's his name?
Westwood.
Yeah, Westwood. Few different captain. But we had a group of people who could manage the squad. Yeah.
And obviously at that time, ownership issues were kind of transpiring. Did that ever impact the team as well?
So as a player, you don't feel it. But now being on the other side, if there is no alignment from the owner to the board, to the team, to the head coach, it doesn't work. So you don't understand why it's not working on the pitch, but now being on the other side, I understand why it wasn't working. There was no alignment between the head coach, the board, the sporting director, the owners. Everybody was making decisions by itself, and it doesn't work like this. You cannot sustain it. You cannot create a successful environment this way.
That goal against Birmingham in the
cup?
Capital One Cup, was it then? Carling Cup?
I don't remember the name of the cup, yeah.
I want to ask you, in terms of the rivalry, where do you think that fits in terms of English football? Do you think it's up there?
It's a big one. I remember Villa Park was amazing. The atmosphere was great. The fans were making some noise. And I think they didn't play a derby for a long time because of the difference in the league. So it was great. Cup game is also the when you play a lower league club to get the confidence. So we won the game 1-0. I scored, which was good. And good for the fans, obviously. Yeah.
Do you feel an advantage attacking the whole end as a striker? Did you feel that from that stand?
When it's working, yes.
Yeah.
But when you start to lose game and the fans are not really behind you for different reasons, you can feel the pressure a little bit. But to be honest, when you're on the pitch, you're on your kind of bubble, and it's only when you've got some time off, like throwing or corner kick, that you can hear the fans. But when you're in the game, you don't feel it, you don't hear that. Yeah.
What is your biggest learning lesson from your time at Aston Villa?
I think we gave up too early. So when we arrived October, November, we saw, okay, season is over. We've got no points or low points. And I think we had the quality in the squad to make it happen. So that's one of my biggest regrets in football, is maybe not having the personality. Myself, I regret I should have tried to be a bit louder in the changing room and say, guys, come on, we've got a chance to do it. Let's stick together and make this happen. Whatever the head coach wants, we are on the pitch, we can make it happen. And so that's one of my biggest regrets, is not maybe didn't raise my voice enough to gather the guys together.